What's Karakum Outdoors hiding from us? You might think you know everything about him, but there's a side of his story that's been kept quiet. From the moment he stepped into the spotlight, he seemed open, but what we found out goes way beyond what he ever shared. So, let's dive in and uncover the truth. Before Karakum Outdoors was a YouTube survival god, before the tent sponsors, the camera gear, or the fans crying in the comments, there was only a boy in a desert Yunush, and not just any desert. The Karakum Desert, where the sun doesn't rise, it attacks, where your shadow leaves you by noon, where people don't live so much as negotiate daily with death. Born in a remote Turkmen outpost with more goats than people, and Wi-Fi so slow it runs on camel speed, Karakum's birth wasn't announced with balloons or cigars. It was a sandstorm so massive, the hospital roof flew off, and he was delivered in a tent, wrapped in burlap, and handed a flint rock instead of a rattle. His first lullaby? Wolves howling and his grandfather screaming at a scorpion to fight him like a man. A metal basin used to bathe sheep. Karakum's toys? Rusty nails, empty bullet casings, and the occasional goat horn. He didn't learn to walk. He learned to track. By age 3, he could identify animal footprints, tell time by the position of the moon, and start a fire using only the rage he inherited from his great-uncle, who once wrestled a bear for disrespecting their tent. At 5, Karakum got lost in the mountains. He built a windproof shelter, tamed a wild donkey, and rode it home while chewing cactus pulp for hydration. His parents grounded him for bringing back a snake he named Steve. School? Ha! His classroom was the wilderness. His teacher was the pain of getting stung by something with 12 legs and no name in science. While other kids were doing homework, Karakum was learning to tan hides, filter water through his own socks, and eat bugs without flinching. Not for clout, for calories. By age 10, he was already a myth in local villages. Old men told stories of the desert boy who could sleep under a cactus, steal honey from wasps, and wrestle a wild goat without breaking a sweat. At 12, he solo crossed the Karakum Desert with only a compass, a can of sardines, and his late uncle's Soviet-issued machete. He didn't just survive, he came back, with a beard and a story that made a grown man cry into his vodka. His family, they weren't soft either. His mom once hunted wild boar with a broomstick. His dad used to time Karakum with a stopwatch while he built shelters during hailstorms. And his grandma? She once slapped a camel so hard it sat down out of respect. By the time Karakum turned 15, he didn't just know survival, he was survival. He didn't sleep in beds, he built hammocks out of fishing line. He didn't cook with stoves, he made fire from friction and spite. He didn't cry when he got hurt. He spit on the wound, wrapped it in birch bark, and kept going. The world didn't create Karakum. The desert did. And long before the cameras started rolling, before millions watched him make tents out of trash and fire pits from tin cans, he had already lived 5 lifetimes of pain, grit, and pure feral instinct. In one unforgettable episode, Karakum Outdoors strips life down to its bare bones. 10 essential items, no fluff, no backup. It's not just a camping trip. It's a brutal test of wit, grit, and raw instinct against the unforgiving wilderness. Each item is like a sacred tool passed down by desert spirits, wielded with precision to turn bare earth into a fortress. From sparking fire with nothing but a flint to crafting shelter from twisted branches and whispered winds, every move screams resourcefulness. The camera catches sweat dripping, fingers bleeding, but never surrendering. As the creator transforms scarcity into survival art, it's a primal ballet where every choice can mean the difference between conquering nature and becoming a part of its silence. Karakum Outdoors doesn't just survive with nature, they live it, breathe it, and sometimes face it nose to nose. Like the time a sly fox with eyes sharper than a blade crept into the sanctuary of a personal cabin, breaking the boundary between wild and tame. The moment is electric, 2 worlds colliding in a fragile dance of curiosity and caution. The fox, neither friend nor foe, embodies the unpredictability of life on the edge of civilization. These encounters remind viewers that nature is not a backdrop, but a living, breathing character in Karakum's saga, one that can be tender, terrifying, or downright surreal. It's raw, unscripted life, with every rustle and shadow telling a story older than time. Beyond the adrenaline and close calls, Karakum Outdoors transforms survival into an art form, sharing vital bushcraft wisdom that turns beginners into wilderness warriors. With patience sharper than a crafted blade, each tutorial strips complex skills down to their essence: how to read the land, craft shelter, start fire with just friction, and navigate with ancient techniques forgotten by most. These lessons aren't just instructions. They're a gateway to unlocking a primal human connection to the wild, teaching viewers not just to survive, but to thrive with respect and confidence. The channel becomes a digital campfire where knowledge is passed, fears are conquered, and a new generation learns that the wild isn't something to fear, it's something to understand and honor. Karakum Outdoors doesn't just exist on YouTube. He dominates it like a desert storm ripping through a quiet village. His channel is a sprawling saga of grit, dust, and raw survival, where every upload feels like you're strapped in for a wild ride through the wilderness. From fire-starting tutorials to guerrilla camping under stars that could blind you with their cold light, Karakum's presence is unstoppable. His followers aren't just fans, they're witnesses to a life lived on the edge of the world, learning the brutal poetry of nature through his every video. But Karakum's videos aren't just about hacks and tricks. They're raw, unfiltered stories, carved straight from the bone of rural hardship. He drags you into his world of floods that swallow homes whole, storms that turn fields into lakes, and nights spent battling the elements when everything that can go wrong does. You feel the tension as he narrates the struggle, the sweat, the blood, and sometimes even the bitter laughter that comes when nature reminds you who's really boss. It's a gritty, honest window into a life that's as harsh as it is humbling, and it pulls viewers into a real human connection far beyond the screen. Then there's the DIY madness, the kind of projects that don't come with blueprints or YouTube tutorials because no one else is crazy enough to try them. Karakum is a self-sufficient wizard, crafting cabins from scratch, repairing rickety roofs with his bare hands, and turning scraps into shelter like some survivalist MacGyver. Every nail hammered, every wall raised, is a testament to his brutal determination and skill. A live-action masterclass in making a home out of nothing but willpower and wilderness. Watching him work is like witnessing a force of nature that refuses to be tamed, building not just cabins, but legends. Karakum Outdoors doesn't just make videos, it drops survival gospel straight from the wilderness trenches. Every clip is a deep dive into the raw, unfiltered world of rural life, where city rules don't apply and nature calls the shots. From building makeshift shelters with nothing but twigs and stubbornness, to sneaking through forests like a ghost on a mission, Karakum delivers practical hacks that feel less like tutorials and more like ancient secrets passed down by desert shamans. This isn't your grandma's camping guide. It's hardcore off-grid living, survival science, and forest wizardry rolled into every pixel. But it's not just a one-way street. Karakum Outdoors builds a fortress of community through every comment and chat. The channel's followers are a pack of kindred spirits. People who don't just watch, they share tips, swap stories, and challenge each other to step deeper into the wild. It's like a secret society of outdoor fanatics, all bonded by a hunger for self-reliance and a refusal to be caged by modern comforts. Every interaction fuels the fire, turning viewers into comrades and screens into campfires where ideas and inspiration crackle. Visually, these videos are like a love letter to the wilderness, shot with a cinematic eye that captures the heartbeat of rural life in all its gritty glory. You don't just see Karakum chopping wood or fishing. You feel the crunch of dry leaves underfoot, the whisper of wind through pine needles, and the silent suspense of a forest at dusk. The camera doesn't just record, it transports, making viewers live the adventure in every frame. This storytelling style turns practical survival into epic journeys, painting every day in the wild as a story worth telling. And beneath the dirt, sweat, and rugged edges, there's something deeply inspirational pulsing through every video. Karakum Outdoors shares the raw highs and crushing lows of off-grid living with brutal honesty. The nights spent shivering in the cold, the meals earned through patience and grit, the quiet moments of awe under endless star skies. This isn't just content. It's a call to arms for anyone yearning to escape the noise and reclaim a piece of freedom through nature. Watching these videos, you don't just learn survival skills, and you're dared to dream bigger, live simpler, and embrace the wild as your true home.